Hello guys. So as you all know, IIM Rohtak has announced its IPM result, and it was very unexpected to everyone that they announced it so early. But nevertheless, now the result has been announced, and a lot of you, and by that I mean a lot of you, have actually contacted me and inquired about a couple of points. So, because everyone was repeating and asking me the same questions over and over again, I thought why not record a video which covers and clears all of your doubts. So, without any further ado, let's get started. This is Saksham, and you are watching One Gyan. So, let's just jump into it. So, the result analysis. So, as you all know, the total number of seats available for this program is somewhere around 150 to 160. I'm not sure about it because even last year they advertised or they put it up on their website that 160 seats were available, but the final calls that were given was about 149. So, our batch strength when the program started was 149. So the calls that were made, sorry, so this is wrong. So it is not waitlisted candidates, but yes. So about 150 to 160 calls were made. So whatever the total number of seats they have decided upon, that is exactly what the number of calls will be. After the calls are made, some people are put in the wait list, right? So there are two wait lists in this scenario. One is ranked wait list, in which approx 20 people for each category are put in. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but I have not seen anyone getting a waitlist rank of over 20 this year, although it was a case last year, but this year I haven't seen anyone having a rank above 20. Then we also have an unranked waitlist in which a good chunk of candidates are there. So the waitlist is pretty huge, and the problem over here is that you don't have a rank, so you don't know the exact position, and that is a big mess, right? Then there are some people who are like the remaining candidates who are who were neither given a call or they were also not put in the waitlist, so they have been rejected. Right now, a lot of people, the result was pretty unexpected for me. Some people who I thought have a clear chance of getting in did not. So anything can be a reason. It can be that the competition was so huge, 5,030 people were given calls, that despite them being or doing their best, they could not make it to the top 150. And a lot of people are frustrated because of the fact that the college conducted its on national level entrance open book, and I understand that, and that might not be fair to everyone, but let me tell you one thing. The situations are unprecedented and nobody thought this will happen, right? And that is why some changes had to be made. Rohtak went the online way, and like it is not the only college wherein you are facing problems with. If you consider the scenario right now, at least Rohtak gave you an option to write an entrance and like appear for it. At least they gave you a chance. I am not talking about how fair or unfair it was. On the contrary, DUJAT and IPMAT or Indore are falling on the same date, so you don't even have a chance to appear for one of them. You can only appear for one of them, not both, right? So consider that the situations are unprecedented, and a lot of things happening right now are not right, but we have to adjust accordingly and just proceed, without causing much trouble to yourself, right? Just focus on what is available to you and not what might be the case, right? So that was about it. Now, first of all, we'll talk about the waitlisted candidates. So we have ranked waitlist and then we have unranked waitlist. Those people who have been put in ranked waitlist, I would say they have a clear chance of a very high chance of getting in because the waitlist movement is usually high. Now, why is it high? That is something we'll discover or we'll talk about in the next slide. But that is not the only case. We also have an unranked waitlist. But I cannot really say much about it because unless you know your exact position in the wait list, I cannot really say whether you have any chance of getting in or not. Because what if you are at the very end of the wait list? Then I would say there isn't any chance of you getting in. Why? Because so many people have been waitlisted this year. But let's say, for example, you are unranked, but you are in the in the top portion of that unranked waitlist, you do stand a chance of getting in, right? So with that being said, now talking about the waitlist movement. So waitlist movement is usually very high. So last year, almost everyone who got waitlisted had a chance of getting in. Why? Because there can be various reasons why someone might forfeit their seats. Some of them are, first of all, they might have problems arranging finance, which is a big thing because We have been asked to submit 2.5 lakhs by 3rd of September. Not everyone can do that. And even I am surprised, not because of the fact that they are asking 2.5 lakhs, but because of the fact that I was expecting them to charge 50,000 earlier and then the full fee in like next 3 or 4 days. So about 5 lakhs in about 4 or 5 days. But that is not the case. They're only charging you 50% of it. Because if I tell you our condition or like what happened to the first batch, in the second year, we were asked to pay the entire fee. But then some people were not in a position to, pay the entire fee at once because of the fact that everyone has been affected because of this pandemic situation. So what they gave an alternate option to us that you pay half the fee now and then you pay the rest half 2 months after, and with a 10,000 addition for processing charges if you're going to split your fee into two parts, right? So I was expecting something similar to happen over here, that they might as well ask you to pay full fee, but they are asking only half of it, and that's a good thing. Take it as a, like, as a positive sign and not a negative. Also, please consider that even though you have been asked to submit 2.5 lakhs now, you will also be asked to submit the rest of the money sooner or later. So also keep your finances ready for that as well, right? So now coming back to the reasons, people have problems arranging finance. A lot of people who have received the call like contacted me and asked the same thing to me, whether is it like a viable option to actually get into it and pay the fee, because they're not in a position to just pay 2.5 lakhs all at once. They were expecting that they'll get some time and they may arrange it using any loans or something, which is something we will discuss in the later slides. But yes, people have arranging finance at such a short notice. Then some might have already taken admission elsewhere because Symbiosis has released their result. Christ has already started with its curriculum or its academic year way earlier this month, right? Not this month, actually, I think last month. So a lot of colleges have already been started and people have enrolled themselves over there. And if they've already enrolled themselves in some college, they have paid the fee. And if they now switch to IIM Rohtak, they are going to lose the fee that they've already paid in that particular college. So that is why some people might just choose to stay back and not join IIM Rohtak. Then there are some people who are really confident about clearing DUJAT or let's say IPMAT Indore. So that is why they're not really willing to spend 2.5 lakhs here just to have that safe backup. So that is one reason why they might not choose to like accept their seat and forfeit that and let the waitlisted candidates in. Another option or another point why people might choose to not accept the seat is that they are an engineering aspirant. So let's say they are waiting for their JE mains, JE advanced. So that is why they might choose to not really look forward to coming in IIM Rohtak, because that was maybe their last option, and that is how they consider it. For them, engineering was the main thing, so they might as well wait for it. Then other last reason I would say is some people are not willing to take risk. So what is this risk that I'm talking about? The risk of joining a program which has not been validated by the industry yet. If I talk of IIM Indore, they have been running the program for a long time. So that is one of the reasons the industry has already validated that program and the placements are good. And that is why people prefer going to IIM Indore now. That was not the case earlier. In their very first batch, only about 3,000 odd people applied for this entrance or this course, and see it now, like about 29,000 people have applied for it this year. So that is the difference. So I would expect the same to happen with IIM Rohtak. So considering that this is the second year only, some people might just choose to not join. Why? Because they don't know how the placements are going to be, and they might not trust a new program. Although I think, you can still put in, the program is worth the risk, but still some people just choose to not take that risk. So those were the reasons why waitlist usually moves, and the waitlist movement is usually high. At least in the last year, in the first batch, the waitlist movement was very high, and I'm expecting something similar to happen this year as well. Although I cannot fully assure you how the end result is going to be, because the situation, as I said, is unprecedented. I don't know what is going to happen, but all I know is that it was a little high last year, so it might as well be high this year as well. And I've actually been in touch with a lot of people, so I see a good chunk of people forfeiting their seats. So that is why I still have hopes for the waitlisted candidates. Now, what is the movement procedure? So the students who will forfeit their seats on 3rd of September, so they will be cleared out from the call, and then the next pool of candidates will be called. Now, when you are being called on 3rd of September, so there won't be any waitlist movement up until 3rd of September. But when it starts, in that case, it will happen like that is what I think is going to happen, that the movement should happen daily or on alternate days starting from 3rd September, and there won't be any movement after commencement of classes. So everything will be concluded before that. Also keep in mind that if in case you are a waitlisted candidate and you were given a call on 3rd or 4th or 5th, they will ask you to submit the fee in just 1 or 2 days of time, right? So you won't be given much time to submit the fee. So make sure you keep your finances ready. Also, you can as well inquire IPM office for the same about the waitlist movement, but make sure that you are not nudging them with, you are not calling them over and over again. So maybe on 3rd, you can just inquire them about the waitlist movement and the whole scenario, and you will get to know about it. Now, let's say you are one of those students who have already gotten a final call. So those who have been given a final call, they are asked to submit 2.5 lakh rupees by September 3rd, which is a huge sum of money. I agree to that. And you are not being given any, if you apply for refund after 5th of September, you won't be given anything, right? So you are essentially going to lose 2.5 lakhs if you choose not to join program after September 5th. And even if you apply for a refund before September 5th or by September 5th, you are going to get it after 180 days, and you are going to get it after 20,000 deduction as processing fee, right? So again, if you are actually going to pay the money, then make sure you are in that right frame of mind or right mindset that you are actually going to join the program. If you think that you are still doubtful, then you still have some time up until 3rd September. Make up your mind and then make any decision, because I understand that 2.5 lakhs is a huge sum of money and you cannot just let it go like that, right? Now classes will commence on September 9th, so the whole admission process should be should conclude by September of 9th. Now, should you accept the call or not? So I cannot give any universal answer to this question. It entirely depends on your situation. So first point being, are you financially affluent? Can you like, are you willing to lose that 2.5 lakhs? The worst case scenario is that you won't join the college, and in that case you are going to lose 2.5 lakh rupees. So are you okay with it? If you are, then maybe yes, it is a good option that you just block your seat over here and then also appear for your IPMAT Indore or DUJAT, and then see what if you get in, then you just drop from here and then switch your colleges. But also in that case, you are going to lose that 2.5 lakhs. If you're financially affluent, if that 2.5 lakhs won't have much impact on your overall financial situation, then definitely yes, go for it and accept the call. And another option is like maybe if you are very confident about clearing IPMAT Indore or DUJAT, in that case, again, some people are very confident and that is why they're forfeiting their call. But let me tell you, you can never be 100% confident that you are going to get in. So in that case, again, the financial affluent point comes into play, that I would still prefer that if you are confident and you are still like you are financially affluent as well, you still can pay 2.5 lakhs and block your seat over here as a backup. Another reason can be like if you're already enrolled elsewhere and you think it is going good, the curriculum is nice, the faculty is nice, maybe continue with it. Like it depends on you what your end goal is. Are you willing to give cat? Because let me tell you one thing, that if you're willing to give cat, you can as well just continue with other college, some other college. If you're not, then yeah, definitely IPM is an option. But if you are thinking that you are going to join IPM and then give cat, I would say go joining IPM and then give CAT, or joining some other college and then give CAT. The latter would be more advantageous. Why? Because once you have a college, like once you have your seat reserved in MBA, you will have a laid back attitude. You will go in a safe zone that I already have a college. Why do I even study for CAT? And that is why, even though many people come and join IPM program with a mindset that they will leave after third year and give cat and get a better college, better maybe in terms of ranking or placement or whatever criteria they might have in their own mind. But let me tell you, once you already have a college, once you already have a seat reserved in MBA, the motivation just drops. So in that case, if you're joining some other college, then you will have that thing in mind. You will have the right amount of stress so that you can perform like in your maximum efficiency, right? So that is also something that you should consider. Overall, I would still recommend that you can at least accept the call, provided that you have finance to support it. Otherwise, you can as well. It depends on your end goals. If the end goal of you, if your end goal is aligning with the IPM program, definitely join it. Otherwise, you also have some other options that you can look forward to. Now, education loan, that is again something that I was asked very often. So getting an education loan without collateral up to 20 lakhs is easy. One of the best banks to approach for education loan is SBI. So they will give you a scholar loan of up to 20 lakhs without any collateral. Then you have an option of ICICI, which has a branch in the campus itself. They are willing to provide a no collateral loan up to 40 lakhs, right? So that is something that you can as well consider. Then there is Central Bank of India. It also provides you no collateral loan up to 30 lakhs. Although there are a lot many more banks which are actually providing loans to IIM Rohtak candidates, you can as well go to their website and check. Let's say, for example, your father already, any of your parent already has a good relation with some of the bank, then just check on their website what is like how much loan can they provide for IIM Rohtak. But why specifically I mentioned Central Bank of India? Because over there it is totally based on your own profile and your college, so they won't really consider your parents' CIBIL. So those who have like some issue with their CIBIL, so that is one way to go. Now a good CIBIL score is likely to be above 750 plus, but at least make sure that it is around 650, because anything less than that and you will be ineligible to even apply for it. Your loan application will get rejected. Also, loan processing will take time, especially if you go with a public sector bank. So you will have to arrange that 2.5 lakhs at least now, and then they will get reimbursed once you have your loan sanctioned, right? If you want to fast track this whole process, you can as well go with ICICI because it is a private bank, but I would always suggest you to go with public sector bank when it comes to loans. Now, should you take a drop? Now, some people have been rejected or they are waitlisted and they don't see any hope of getting in. And the same is the case, let's say, for example, you also are not able to clear your Indore call. So what do you do? Should you take a drop or should you join another college? See, again, the times are such that I would say that it would be too risky to drop and wait and like appear for it again next year. Why? Because you cannot always be sure that next year also you will get in or not, right? So in that case, you might as well end up losing 1 year for no good reason. So I would always suggest you that you take admission elsewhere and prepare side by side. And competition, again, if you are not able to clear it this year, then how can you be sure that you will be able to clear it next year? Why? Because if you don't have college at your hand and you see your peers already enrolled into college, you may as well go into that depressive state, and it is not really like you won't be able to study with your maximum efficiency in that scenario, right? So you have to consider everything. Competition is also bound to increase next year, but then so is the number of available seats, because Indore is likely going to double their seats next year, and IIM Lucknow will also come up with their IPM program. So the number of seats will definitely increase, but also at the same time, I would still suggest, if your finances allow, then just block your seat in some other college. Start preparing side by side. If you get in, well and good, you can switch. Otherwise, just continue with it and then give cat. Like, what's the issue with that, right? So now the last point that I am going to cover is discrepancy in your 12th marks. So when you were filling in the form for IPMAT Rohtak, or when they asked you to submit your academics, students were asked to submit average of all the subjects. All by all I mean all the subjects that appear on your mark sheet. But some students calculated the average on the basis of their either top four, because they thought it would be the same as Delhi University, or they might have calculated it on the basis of their top five, considering that the sixth subject was an additional. So that is not the case. Whenever you are applying for any college, they will ask you the average of all the subjects and not your top four or five. But even if you have submitted it as your top four or five, nothing to worry about. If that's the case with you, just mail the IPM office beforehand so that it does not cause any problem later on. If you have mailed it, you are good to go, and I don't think that should cause any problem for you. So that is it from my side, and thanks for listening and completing the whole video. If you still have a question which I didn't cover in this entire video, you can as well reach out to me on my social handles. And you can, if you like the video, you can definitely like it, subscribe it, and also share it with your friends who might find it helpful. So that is it from my side. Have a good day.